Okay, so what is cancer? Well, as far as I can tell, it's people that were born between June 20th and July 21st. If you were born before, it's a Gemini. After, it's a Leo, right? Okay, so that's what there's really no other meaning for it. I want you to look it up, see if you can find any other meaning for it, right? Now remember, words are meant to communicate. And what do they communicate? Well, information or emotion. So the word Cancer communicates what information? 0, because you're not a zodiac sign. I promise you, there's no zodiacs inside of you. But it does communicate emotion. What is that emotion? You know that emotion? Okay. When you get that emotion, you no longer can think. Your immune system goes into the toilet. And it's called the standard of scare. And they're very good at it. But the problem is that whatever happens to you at that point in terms of treatment, it won't work because your immune system is trashed. And it's trashed because there's a direct connection between your mind and your immune system. There's a discipline, not a discipline, but a field of endeavor. It's called psychoneuroimmunology. Psychology, neuro, meaning brain, immunology, meaning immune system, psychoneuroimmunology, and its effect on it, all right? And we know, we can measure it, that how emotions affect it. Fear, anger, sadness, regret, any of those will suppress immune system, okay? So what is this process going on in the body that is called, was it Sagittarius? No, Taurus. I can't remember, was it? Oh, Cancer, that's right. What is that? Well, what it is really is the body needs, every cell needs to have energy to exist and then to do its work, okay? And it makes energy very efficiently with these little mitochondria, these little energy makers inside the cell, okay? If 30% of them get knocked out or more, then the cell has to change and go into the primitive form of energy production called fermentation. Of course, scientists and doctors call it glycolysis, but we all know it's really fermentation, okay? And especially wine and beer makers and cheese makers. Okay, so fermentation. It goes into fermentation because that's a very primitive way of making it, but it's very inefficient, right? It's like 19 times less efficient than the other way, the oxidative phosphorylation, which you don't need to remember that word. So now, but for fermentation being so inefficient, the cell has to go through all of these changes so that it can be a successful fermenter. So it turns down this gene, turns up that gene, all that stuff, and now it can successfully ferment. So it becomes a chronically fermenting cell. That's what it is. So let's call it what it is. Say it like it is. Say it like it is. It's a chronically fermenting cell. Or if you like acronyms, you can call it a CFC. All right? So when I say those words, two things. Number one, I've communicated information. You now know what it is. Okay, and by knowing what it is, you can say, okay, well, if it's fermenting, why is it fermenting? Oh, because toxicity. Oh, I can. So that gives you a game plan. It gives you a strategy to actually change it, get rid of it. So that works. Okay, we got information. The second thing it communicates is nothing, no emotion, no fear, no happiness. So it's just informational. Exactly. All right? Because and so I promise you, don't ever let anyone figure out what birth sign you are. Figure out what it is. Even I'm not telling you to get into astrology. I'm just saying figure out what your birth sign is. So let's say you're Sagittarius and someone comes up and says, "How's your Cancer?" Just say, "What are you talking about? I'm Sagittarius," or whatever it is. Or if you are born between June 20th or June 21st and July 20th, it changes. Some people. Anyway, then you say. You just say, yeah, well, how'd you know my birth sign? Yeah, anyway, or I'm on the cusp. Anyway, just you keep it in that, okay? And then tell them, by the way, what's going on with me, I've got some chronically fermenting cells, blah, blah, blah. And then if the person can't get it, then don't talk to them again. Why? Because every time you hear that word, I promise you, it's like walking up to your immune system and punching it in the gut, okay? You don't want to hear that word. You don't want to be around people that use that word. You don't want to go to hospitals where they're treating cancer, because the word cancer is like, oh my God, it's this monster that you can't possibly understand or do, and nobody knows what to do, and it's gonna. You don't need that. You don't need that. You need to say, okay, what am I dealing with here, and how do I deal with it? Okay, so that's what Cancer is, and it's really a zodiac sign. But once you walk in our doors, It's CFCs, chronically fermenting cells, okay? And if someone doesn't get it, it's not your problem. It's their problem, okay?